about cohabitation. The first part was about what our current environment is about. The second part was about impact over a lifetime on your marriages and on your children. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about trust. If you're not really trusting somebody enough to marry them, is there really trust in a cohabitating relationship? The impact of trust, when you marry somebody, when you say, I love you enough to believe that you are as committed to this relationship as I am, then trust will form. Now, trust is relational, so obviously you have to have a very tight relationship. It's reliable. So ask yourself this question. If somebody doesn't trust me enough to want to be married to me, are they reliable? So you want to wonder, do they live, if I'm just living with them, can I trust them to want to stay around? And people say all the time, well, I don't need a paper to know that. Then how do you know? I'm just, because we can say anything. Trust is also responsible. If a person doesn't want to take the responsibility of being a husband or being a wife, then why do you want to be with them? I mean, really think about it. Are they reliable? Are they going to do everything they can over the long haul to make this relationship work, to give the children a stable home, and to give you a stable relationship you can trust that's reliable and responsible? Trust is also respectful. I've learned over the years in the marriage counseling, cohabitation and conjugal relationships really aren't respectful. If we're going to love somebody the way that God wants us to love them, we're going to respect them. And if we respect them, we're going to honor them as a special creation of God, and that marriage is created by God, and that the sexual relationship is a part of marriage. So you want to pull back from yourself and say, just because the culture's doing it doesn't mean that we should be doing it. The sad statistic today is 95% of couples are having sex before they get married. And 98% of couples overall, and 95% of Christian couples. So that's not really respecting yourself, and it's not really respecting the other person. I want you to think about something for a minute. If I were not the one to marry this person, if we break up and she or he goes off some other place and marries a different person, I just had sex with somebody else's wife, or I had sex with somebody else's husband. So you want to be respectful of that as you move through relationships. Trust is also realistic. When we get married, reality sets in pretty quickly. When we're living together, we're not always so realistic about the relationship because we're still kind of trying to live in a fantasy instead of in reality. And so we never really move forward, and we never really mature as a couple. Trust is responsive. Responsiveness comes within the context of a trustworthy marriage. If I'm living with you, I may not get the responses from you because we're both kind of playing on our best behavior, trying not to split up the relationship. Or one person is saying, you want me just to move out? You want me just to move out? So whenever you try to have a problem discussed and dealt with, the other partner's just like, fine, I'll just move out. And that's not responsiveness. If we're married, we kind of got to think about it. We got to figure out how to fix that. And trust is redemptive. So even though we may have lived together, we can grow in trust. We can redeem the relationship through Jesus Christ. And you can move forward to have all of the trust that marriage offers you. I'm Dr. Pauline Dillard, and this has been A Marriage Moment.